I just watched Lee Cronin's The Mummy, and these are my post-watch thoughts. Overall, I wasn't super crazy about it. I think the movie has a lot of problems, but I will say to start that there's a lot good here. But I also think that a lot of the good things are tied into what I don't like. For instance, I think the movie was very clearly inspired by films like The Exorcist and the earlier Evil Dead movies, Lee Cronin having directed an Evil Dead movie himself, Evil Dead Rise, which is fantastic. And I think that he brought a lot of the DNA from that Evil Dead movie into this Mummy movie. And when this movie is an Evil Dead movie with a mummy's skin, it's at its best. The best stuff is when this is going full Evil Dead and there's like good gore, there's over-the-top action violence. Like that's when the movie is working the best. But it never fully commits to it, and I feel like it actually kind of teases you in a way that makes you feel like you're getting robbed of a better film. Any time that the movie would get a little bit unhinged, I was like, oh, fuck yeah, here we go. This is where it gets crazy. Like, buckle up. I'm ready for it to just be wild from here on out. And then it would kind of calm back down, and it would be boring. I think a lot of the movie is really boring. And I think there's just some bad decisions. I think the first thing I want to point out is the movie takes place in Egypt and in the United States. I really don't think that it needed to split the locations. I don't want to go into spoilers too much, but to explain a little bit, the beginning portion of the movie takes place in Egypt, but then they move it to Albuquerque and do an 8-year time jump. It will jump back to Egypt occasionally to follow a detective character investigating the plot of the movie, I guess. Again, avoiding spoilers. I personally think that it was a really dumb decision to have the movie move to Albuquerque. I think the whole thing could have taken place in Egypt. I think they could have shortened the time jump from what I think was 8 years just to like a year and have Jack Raynor's character do the investigating and be trying to figure out what's going on rather than have the cop character and just have a more focused movie. I think the script really just needed another pass. Speaking of Jack Raynor, I thought he was terrible in this, which I feel bad saying because I thought he was absolutely fantastic in both Midsommar and Sing Street. He's a good actor. I feel bad shitting on him, but in this movie, he was always wide-eyed, mouth agape, barely emoting, and anytime he was wide-eyed with mouth agape, I just kept on in my head going, duh, he just looked stupid. And that sounds really harsh, but I do really like him. I think he's a very good actor. I just don't think he was right for this role. Yeah, the movie's boring. I think it's too long. I don't think it was mean enough, which is funny because I had the same complaint about Faces of Death. You can watch my post-watch thoughts on that if you feel like it. I just think it needed to be nastier. Like, I wanted it to be more of an Evil Dead movie with a mummy, paint job on it, like I just wanted it to go full on, but I think what it thinks it's doing is that it's hitting you with some full on stuff to scare you, and then it lets you breathe and kind of stew and fester in like it's fucked up stuff. But I personally did not find that at all. I more so felt like I was having like a Godzilla 2014 experience where like you'd see the monster start to fight and then it would cut away from it. I was like, oh, come on, just give me more crazy mummy child teenage girl shit. Like, just give me more balls to the walls horror. Like, I need more. There's some really shitty looking CGI coyotes in the movie. And yeah, like, I don't want to be too negative. Like, there are good things in here. Like, I think that the girl playing the mummy does a really great job. I think the mum gives a good performance. Even though I think her character is pointless, I think the cop character does a good job. I do think that the movie shot pretty well. I do think that the editing's pretty slick. Like, I have positives. I don't think it's horrible. Like, I liked it more than Faces of Death. It's certainly better than the Tom Cruise Mummy. But I do think it's worse than, like, I don't know if this is a good comparison, but since they're all remakes of classic Universal horror films, I do think this is the weakest out of The Invisible Man and The Wolfman. Overall, just below average. Like, it's got bad stuff in it, but it also has good stuff in it. I also think that my experience may have been hindered a bit by a guy in the theater who would not stop tapping his fucking hands together. Like, he was just going like he had a nervous tick or something like that. I don't know. And anytime anything was happening, all I could hear in the quiet was just... And it was really fucking annoying. But that's about it. Thanks for watching.